Excuse me for a second. Had some water go down the wrong pipe, so I'm going to be choking a little bit here. All right, we are up and running on Amazon and on YouTube. I've got about an hour or so, but I think that should be enough time to check out the new Fire 7 has come in. This is the lowest of the low-end Amazon tablet running Android, but it's the Amazon version of Android. And I thought we would unbox it today, if you're interested. If you're not, you can tune in somewhere else, right? And let's see here. There we go. All right. And we got some viewers popping in. Hi, everybody. So we will begin in earnest in just a minute or two here. Let me just get myself combobulated, as they say. And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with this. So what I like about these is that they're very inexpensive, and they're actually pretty good for the money. They haven't changed like aesthetically at all. They are pretty much the usual cheap kind of feeling tablet, but they are very useful and affordable. So that's why I like them. So I'm going to start my Google Doc for this. Fire 7 tablet for 2022. And I don't think they've updated this in like 3 or 4 years. So these kind of run a commodity course insofar as what the market can bear. So once the market can bear a more affordable tablet, they come up with a new one. So if I go to Fire 7, let's see, I'm looking on there. So this is the Fire HT, okay, so Fire Tablet Specifications Overview. So let's go to Fire Tablet. So this is the 2022, this is the 12th generation. So let's see, Fire 7 tablet. This sells for $60. I mean, it's like it's less than a video game these days, right? And I'm going through the specs here. So maybe I can share those with you. Let me do another screen here. And I will show you what the specs are on this sucker. Because I want to get this into my Google Doc here too. So let's add an input. So we'll peruse this together here in a second. And then we'll unbox it and do our testing. So this is the spec sheet of the Fire 7 here. And this one just came out. Like it started arriving to people's homes today. So 1024 by 600, I think pretty much the same as the prior edition. It's got a MediaTek, one of these. That's the processor. So let me dump that into my dock here. And so it's a 64-bit. Now what I'm curious about is whether or not this, okay, so it's running a 32 64-bit hybrid. Because I don't think Android OS is 64-bit yet. It's running Fire OS 8. So that is good to know. Fire OS 8. So I think this might be an issue for some of the emulators out there. Let's see. Yada, yada, yada. And here's all the supported video codecs. Yeah, my big question was what processor it had. Now if we look at this one, and then why don't we make another, I want to do like a head-to-head here. Like how does this one compare to the old one? So if I add that in. So if we look at the last one, which was 2019, so it was like 3 years ago. Yeah, I thought it had been a while. So the application binary, yeah, so now it's like a hybrid 64-32. Before it was just 32. And then if we go over to, let's see, the processor. So before it was an MT, is it the same processor maybe? So the old one, look at the right one, yeah, 2019, had an MT8163VB. This one It's a little bit updated, so it's got a slightly more powerful processor. 2 gigs of RAM on this one, and there was only 1 gig on the other one. So this has got double the RAM, essentially, which is not hard to do when the original one just has a single gig, right? So let me go in and add this to the mix here. So 2 gigabytes RAM versus 1 gigabyte before, and it's running Fire OS 8. The old one, I think, might have been on, it was on OS 6. So this one's like 2 notches above. And it's based on Android 11. All right. Well, good. I got my context there for spec sheets. Okay, so let me take some comments here, then we'll start unboxing this sucker. Got a lot of people popping in here, a lot of interest in this. So let me say hello to everybody. Joe Tyson is here first, followed by William Wilkinson. Love we got a bunch of regulars that come in. Jose Morales is here from Tampa. Christoph Howard is here again. Welcome back. Arif Hassan, right on schedule. He still wants me to look at that VCS. One of these days I'll get there. The Skulls playlist is here. David Langley is here. John is here. CM is here. Heffen says, is this the new generation? It is. This is the brand new one that just came out today. I always order these like right when they announce them because these do well on the channel. People like cheap tablets. Tobias is here. Hello there. And yep, they are built like tanks. My kids have one that they've put through the ringer, let me tell you. Reese is using this tablet right now. Says I'll love it. Excellent. Yeah, this one has 16 gigs of storage now, so it has some extra storage here. BHT has the 8-inch tablet and wishes that they would allow the Google Play Store. Yeah, you can shoehorn it on. I think I did that on my last one. It is not a 360p screen. It is, let me look it up real quick here. It is, let me back up here for a second. It is like basically 720p, more or less. So it's 1000, close to it. It's 1024 by 600, so it's slightly below 720p. But that's not a deal breaker necessarily because the screen is so small. So it doesn't look as low resolution as it would if it was on a bigger display, if that makes sense. Because on a bigger display, you're zooming everything up, and so you'll see that lower resolution more succinctly. On a smaller screen, you can get away with a lower resolution because you have more pixel density. So it's all a matter of perspective, as they say. All right, let me grab a few more comments here, and then we'll unbox this thing and get to work on it. These are fun to do because they're not all that difficult. Yeah, there's a tool that lets you get the Play Store loaded in there, and then you can do that kind of thing. Joe Tyson said that Android 5 was the first 64-bit version. Yeah, for some reason Amazon was sticking with 32-bit, even on their most recent one from their high-end one, which is the 10-inch one. That one's still running with like a 32-bit thing. Crispy is here. Anthony is here. Made it on time. Excellent. You are here on time. Stanko is here. And we're at 4K today, folks. Let's see. I think I answered the resolution question and the when was it released question. And we were released today. Today's the day. Stuart is here. Love the shades. Take Hero is here with the right resolution there. Can they run Plex apps? Yes, they can. They sure can. So 600p, yeah, basically that's it. But 720p stuff will look good on the display for sure. Adrian Lewis is here, and Take Hero LOL says I am tempted to get one. Yeah, at this price, you know, it's like an extra device. And this is great. Actually, you know, I'm doing a lot of amateur radio stuff. This is great for amateur radio because there are some apps that run on tablets, and this would be great for that because it's not all that demanding. Xander said he did install it on his HD8 and seems to be causing it some slowdown. Yeah, there's always some issues when you kind of shoehorn things on like that. And KK Undy wants to know what's the biggest storage size. I think 32 gigs, as D. Weisman points out here, but it has an SD card slot and it can go up to a terabyte. And that is the question that Jay just asked. So why don't we open it up? Should I open it up? Oh, I guess I can open it up nicely. There's an actual like little zipper thing here. So let's open it up here and see what we get. And I like how they put, so this is, they sell this at retail stores also. So you'll see this hanging at major retailers. And they put Roblox on the back. Why? Because parents want to know, does it run Roblox? So think about this, like your kid's into Roblox. You don't want to give the kid the $800 iPad, right? So you buy him the $60 Fire 7. The warranty is only like 90 days on this thing. But yeah, I was surprised. Amazon, like whenever I'm waiting for something, like the Amazon truck never gets here on time, but today it actually did. So here it is. It is, your basic transportation. You don't have the laminated screen. Well, I'm interested in the camera specs. Let's take a look at the camera specs real quick and see what we get on those. So let me run over to my developer page again and see what the camera specs are on this one. So the camera, there's a front and a back camera, but they're both 2 megapixels, which is the same as before. So 2 megapixels is like, like there was some joke about the 360p. Not great. It's like in that zone, as they say. All right. So what else do we have in the box here? So you got to pull out the little cardboard insert here, and you've got got the smile here, right? And then we can dive deeper. And so we have a power plug here. This is your standard 1 amp USB charger. And of course, we have a USB-A to USB Type-C charging cable. I don't believe this supports video output over the USB-C, but this USB-C should perform as a on-the-go port, as the prior one did. The camera position is dead center, and I've seen this on some of the other Amazon devices, so they're really encouraging folks to do a landscape video conference when they're conferencing with it. And here's the size, very small. I can very easily palm it here. I don't have huge hands, but I can easily palm the device. And of course, you've got the branding. Now the cameras on the front and back are identical, and there's a single speaker at the top, right here. That's it. I do not see any other speakers. Now for ports, let's take a look at ports. A port is a port, of course. You have a headphone jack. Don't get that on your fancy iPhone. Or even the iPad mini doesn't have that anymore either, right? So you got that. You got your USB-C port, volume rocker, and a power switch. And then over here is where the micro SD card goes. And this will take 1 terabyte. So you can load up a lot of media on this for your kid. All right, let's turn it on. And you can see it just collects fingerprints like there's no tomorrow. All right, well, let's call him back on a phone call here. All right, so we're going to boot this up and let it load. Okay, hey, Meatface is back again. He's on Amazon. That's why you don't see him in the chat here. But as Take Hero says, 1 terabyte it'll take. Flood of Sins is here. Suka's here. Welcome. Connor wants Mason to make a Fire tablet with an e-ink display. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? 'Cause I'm starting to see some of those out there, those e-ink based things. ST Lumni just got the iPad mini, went from a Tab 7. Really do prefer these smaller tablets. Yeah, I do too. I have an iPad mini and I really like it. Ion has the 2017. This would not be an upgrade to the HD10. I believe the HD10 will be quicker. We'll find out when we run some benchmarks on it. Yeah, there could very well be a Prime Day sale on this one. I don't know, but Amazon typically does do that. And Nuno has a 3-year EU warranty. Anthony just wants to see emulation. We'll take a look at that and see what we've got. Boy, the chats are coming in fast and furious here. A lot of interest in this. Let me get this thing booted up here. And oh, Mark has a good question. Why does YouTube type ahead of me? Well, I guess it must be part of that delay, right? Because I have it on. So because I am streaming at 4K now, I had to increase the latency in which it gets to you. So I think that gives the auto captioning thing time to figure everything out. So I think that's what's going on. All right, so I'm going to connect this to my Wi-Fi, and I'm curious what kind of Wi-Fi it has. Let's see. So the Wi-Fi is dual band AC. So no Wi-Fi 6 on this. All right, so let me add this here, Wi-Fi, AC Wi-Fi. All right, give me a second here to type in my password. And we'll click continue. And Meatface says, remember the Fire phone with 9 cameras? Yeah, it had that neat feature which would, like, you could scan stuff, right? Remember that there was something that it would do where it would scan things. All right, we are up and running. Oh, I gotta type in my, oh boy, that's gonna be a nightmare. Let me type in my Amazon password now. They don't make this easy when you have like a very secure kind of password, so we'll need to work on that here. Look at my, you can look at my box here while I look for my Amazon password. Let's go to edit here. I have a, I'm using, whatchamacallit, LastPass. So I've got, all these passwords are all just like a bunch of gibberish. And so they're fine when you have them autocomplete, but when you're trying to type in a password, it becomes a burden. I'm looking forward to the passwordless future that they are proposing we live in. All right, one there, and then do a thing there, and then we do one of these things, and then one of those. All right, so I'm gonna hit that. Now it's registering my Fire. And now I've got to do my two-factor authentication, so let's do that real quick. You can look at the other side of the box here while I work on that. Bear with me, folks, I'm almost there. And then we can continue onward. So this is that. Remember that and do that. Okay, so now it has about 77% of the battery in the tank still. So that is good. Meatface says he can hear my thoughts while I'm typing. I should probably put my tinfoil hat on if that's a concern, right? All right, so let me go back to, I missed a whole bunch of chats. I apologize for that. D. Weissman says, your password app doesn't do copy and paste. It doesn't when you don't have it installed on the device. So you can't install anything on here until you get into it. So that's where you end up. But the setup process is pretty easy here. So it knew, okay, here we go. So here, if you want to watch this, there you go. Yes, we need to turn the brightness up on the screen here, though.
Try asking Alexa to play music.
Okay, I think did it just trigger itself, or did it turn itself off here? Hang on.
Or movies. Make calls.
All right, let's get to the end of that. So you get like a little video when you start out.
Enjoy your new Fire tablet.
Thank you. I think I will enjoy my new Fire tablet. Okay. So some complaints on the RAM. I think it's fine for the price, right? I mean, you're paying, not all that much here. Looks like it's got my kids. So I have my kids will be able to have their own account on here too. And now I have a screen lock. I don't want to have a screen lock. How do I avoid that? I guess I have to have one. All right. That's to prevent children from getting into it. So let me just do that real quick. All right, done with that. All right, now, oh shoot, did I just go connect to Goodreads? I don't want to connect to Goodreads. Let me do not now on that one. No thanks on Kindle Unlimited. No thanks on ABC Mouse. Yeah, like I just got hit with like 3 offers right out of the gate. That's a newer experience, I think. All right, I do get, so it does tell you what you get as part of your Prime membership though, so that's nice. All right, so I already got a Prime membership, so I'm just going to not now that one. And then I can add apps to it. So let's see. Well, I guess I'll add Zoom because I know people ask about Zoom. My kids love Toco World. We already bought a bunch of stuff on the other thing there, on the iPad. And then I'll install Vice City. This has 16 gigs of storage now built in. And let's see what else. Rainway. Oh, so it's looking at things that I have on my other devices, I think is what it's doing here. And of course, Roblox, front and center. All right, let's do continue. And then I'll be able to turn the brightness up a bit.
Hello. Alexa is on your tab.
Okay.
Use your voice to open apps.
So
Ask questions.
we're getting all the A-word rundown here. If you have an A-word device, I would mute it because we're probably going to be saying it a lot.
All you have to do is ask.
All right, there we go. And I'll just agree to whatever. Okay.
Try it now. Ask Alexa.
Okay, I'm warning you all. I'm going to be saying the A word, okay? Alexa, what's the weather? Alexa, what's the weather? There it goes.
In Essex,
All right.
81 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right.
Today, you can look for just a few clouds in the sky with a high of 80
And it's giving me that.
low of 62 degrees. Would you also like the current humidity?
No, thank you. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's back out of this. Continue. Finish. Okay, we are in. And somebody wanted to see the back. That's the back. Looks just like the other one. Doesn't seem to be much of a difference here. All right, so right now I want to check for updates and whatnot. So let me go do that real quick. So we'll jump into the settings, and then we'll start messing around with some stuff on here. Let's see, storage. Okay, the good news is we've got 10.36 gigabytes free, so that's good. Where is the update thing? Device options, updates, there we go. Okay, so let's do, here's the back, in case you want to see that too. System updates. And there is an update waiting. Of course there is, because we're doing a live stream. There's always an update when you have a live stream going on here. So we're going to have it do that. And you can see it's like picking up fingerprints almost immediately. So these screens are not laminated, so you don't get that anti-fingerprint coating on them. David Bound is here. Hello there. 640K ought to be enough for everybody. I agree. It's all we need. Let's see here. Warwagon hates the buttons on Fire tablets. It's a hard time finding them. Yeah, there's only one button on this one, I think. Or two, I guess that and the volume button. Basic Pixel is more interested in the new Fire OS. We'll take a look and see. And Scott says it's 84 degrees in Hartford. Yeah, it gets a little hotter up there, up north, especially in the summertime, right? It usually runs a little hotter because we have the ocean still kind of cooling things down a bit over here, or Long Island Sound in my case. Matt K says the bezel is atrocious. I'm getting a lot of complaints about the RAM and the bezel, and I hear you. But again, this thing's like designed to be sold for $60 or less, right? So that's kind of where they're going. And Steven says choice is a good thing. See, so you can choose to buy this one or get something a little more expensive. Ayan wants to know the fluidity. We'll check that out in a minute. We're going to get the system update put in, and then we'll see. Yeah, we got to make sure all the stuff is installed and operating here. So I wanted to get that update done so we can have that going. I have not tried this yet, but I'm pretty sure you could still do that here as far as getting the Google Play Store installed on it. I don't know why we can't get that, right? And Scott Linux says the popularity of Alexa for a child went down sharply. I would believe that. I was surprised that the Echoes took off the way they did. I reviewed it right when it came out. You know, I had pre-ordered it, you know, because I was just getting started with my channel at that point. And it was surprising, really, how much it took off. Because I was thinking at the time, you know, who would want this always listening microphone in their house? But apparently people did. So it took off, didn't it? And Wilfredo Santiago says, Fire 7 with 2 gigs of RAM, finally. Yep, the costs finally came down. And David Bound says that VLC is available on that, so we can check that out. And I can look at some HEVC content. Maybe I can do that from my Plex server and see how it handles it. My only concern would be the Wi-Fi bandwidth. So we'll see. Some of this stuff may have to get into the review. My time is not unlimited this afternoon, so I've got about maybe an hour once everything gets going here. All right, so let me make a note of that. HEVC, emulation, gaming, of course. We'll look at all those things. Yeah, I'm not sure how this hybrid, I'm not sure how all this hybrid 32-bit stuff works out with this either. You know what I mean? Does that mean it can run some 64-bit apps but still be running with a 32-bit operating system, or vice versa? My assumption would be maybe a 64-bit OS that runs 32-bit applications, although I don't know if that's always been kosher on Android. Maybe it has been. You know who I'm going to consult on this question? I'm going to consult my man from AFTV News, who will know all about that. And it's Leo from the Amazon chat wants to know, does anyone know when Prime Day is? Yes, it's July 12th and 13th, I believe, right? Prime Day 2022 is July 12th and 13th. So Prime Day is actually Prime Days. And they've got some deals already. Why wait? You can start buying up stuff right now if you want. All right, so we'll let this boot up here. And we'll be good to go here in a second. Almost there. You all should follow me on Amazon, because I've been doing more streaming on Amazon lately. You know what I've been doing, which has been kind of fun, is I stream while I'm recording videos. I did one yesterday, and I did one today too. But I just do those on Amazon just because, you know, the YouTube viewers will see the recorded version. And I think too, on the bezel question here, I think also they have this like enormous case for this size Fire tablet that my kids have on the one we bought a couple of years ago. All right, we're almost there. This is one of the things I want to test on it also is Xbox Cloud Gaming, because I have, and you'll see it on the Amazon product carousel, my Xbox controller, which we will pair up with it. I'm pretty sure it should work. If it's not in the App Store, we'll have to sideload it, but we'll get there. Let's wait for that system update to install, and then we'll reboot. And hopefully, we'll be good to go. So if you want to follow me on Amazon, if you click on the link in the video description, that will take you over to Amazon. And when you're there, you're going to see an option to follow me. I'm not sure if that was you. I got a thing that says Amazon customers started following. So then you can follow me on Amazon. There we go. Got two already. So A. Bowman and another one called Amazon customer just started following. Yeah, so I stream a lot, as you all know, and whenever I get something in and start testing it, I always do it in both places. But I've lately been, depends on the item. If the item is available on Amazon, I'll do a live stream while I record the video. It's always fun. And it's nice because I don't get as much chat traffic, so I don't get distracted. All right, we are back up here, it looks like. We are booting up. There we go. Scott just followed me on Amazon too. Yeah, and I'll probably be doing some streams on Prime Day, because a lot of times, I don't know what's on sale yet, but I know what's happened in years prior is that I usually own a good chunk of what's on sale. So what I've been doing is I just, and it looks like Eduardo followed us and found us on Amazon. I cannot stream, by the way, 4K to Amazon. They limit me to 720p. So if you want 4K, you got to stay on YouTube. But if you're okay with 720p, head over to Amazon. It actually looks really good on Amazon for 720p. So I send them the max that they allow, which is 720p at 2.5 megabits per second. On YouTube right now, I am giving YouTube 30 megabits per second at 4K. All right, so it looks like we are coming back. And here we go. It does feel a little zippier than the old one. I always remember the old one being really sluggish, so it's feeling a little better here. Meatface wants to know, can you Alexa intercom, see, there we go, I've already set my own thing off here. Can you A-word intercom from tablet to speaker? I'm pretty sure you can. I don't think I'll have to set up my speaker to test that in a little bit. And he says the kids enjoy the intercom feature. That is helpful if you can just shout out like, hey, contact so-and-so. Exquisite follows me now on Amazon as well. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, come on in if you're on the YouTube side. Just click on that Amazon link and give me a follow. I'm trying to keep building my audience there. The best thing about Amazon is that there's no ads anywhere. So all you see is me. All right, what else we got here? Chris Allegretta is here. His grandfather was named Amazon customer. That's funny. When you're in Amazon and like somebody doesn't have a name associated with their account, it just says Amazon customer started following. So that's why we see a couple of those on there. Michael Corcoran says the Fire tablets have got a lot better, but I think it's worth investing a little money. Yeah, I think that's something to think about, is when you're out looking for one of these things, you know, it's certainly not a primary device. It's good for kids. This one in particular is great for kids because it's cheap. And I'll tell you what, like, my kids both used one of these for a while, and I don't want to say they're indestructible because I don't think they are, but they survive more abuse than iPads do, for sure. I don't know what it is about the construction that just is better. They have like this enormous, like, puffy kids case for it too that works really well. All right, I think, let's see, let's go to my, I'm just looking on my thing here. All right, so let's open the App Store. So I just want to see what I've got already installed, if it tells me that. So I just want to make sure it's done downloading everything I asked it to. We didn't download anything terribly large on the initial install here. But it's definitely starting to feel a little more Android-like, isn't it? Okay. Freevee, by the way, is their new TV service. And so this used to be called IMDb TV, but now you've got all these free things. Judge Judy's on here. And I guess they're doing a sequel to Who's the Boss with Tony Danza's on it. I mean, they've started booking like some top talent, you know? All right. So I did ask it to install some apps, which it did not install, at least as far as I can see here. So we're going to go in and get those going here, because I want to get 3D Mark. The first thing I want to do is run the 3D Mark benchmark. That's what I like to do first. So let's do that real quick. And hopefully it's on here. Otherwise, I got to go sideload the darn thing. Yep, looks like I have to do that. Yeah, they were very aggressive with their apps initially, and then it's kind of dropped off a bit. So now, like, you're not going to always find. Let me try it without the space here and see. So this is like the one frustration that I hear the most about, is that you don't have the Google Play Store and all the apps that are in that. All right, so now we're going to go figure out where I last left off on that front. So I think what I need to do, give me 1 second. I know I have the app somewhere that I can sideload. All right, let me go grab the 3D Mark app again. Bear with me here, folks. We're going to get this going in just a second. What I need to do is sideload a couple things on. So what we are going to go do, though, is there's a great app called Downloader, and that is made by my friend Elias Saba from AFTVnews.com. He actually coded this. And let's see. Here it is. And so what I use is Downloader to download the app, and then it'll install it for me also. Currently unavailable? Why the heck not? Seriously? Currently unavailable. Huh. Well, that's a downer. All right, so we'll have to do it a different way here. All right, bear with me for 1 second, folks. I got to go find the 3D Mark app here to install. You got to sideload the sideloader. Exactly. All right, so hang tight here for 1 second, folks. And we will get that going. So where did I put it? It's not in there either. Okay, so I'm going to have to go grab this from... Let me try one other thing here. Sorry, everybody. See, I very rarely do any kind of side loading until like times like now where I need to do it. Yep, I'm going to have to go download it again. Okay, so let's go do that real quick. And I usually go to apkmirror.com, which is a good place to find a lot of these apps, and just grab the APK. Let me get back into this. But I will say, like, it is frustrating to have to jump through additional hoops to get apps that would just install in any other Android tablet, right? All right, so let's grab this one. This version is current as of the beginning of June here. So we'll do that real quick. Bear with me here, folks. We'll get it going in 1 second. Now, I'm probably going to have to give this thing permission to do its thing. All right, so let me copy this over. Oh, it's already in there. Oh, do it again. Okay, I didn't see it there. Okay, so apparently I already had it there, but I just hadn't seen it. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go over to my NAS's web server, and we're going to install the thing on here. So bear with me for 1 second. I'm starting to see a lot of app ads on the home screen here also. Now, the web browser on the tablet is called Silk. All right, 168. All right, let's see if it lets us install this. Turbo Guy wants to know, what's my hobby? Well, you know what's funny? I turned my hobby into a job. So electronics, I would say, are probably my hobby. However, I recently got into amateur radio. So although it is kind of an electronic thing, it is a subset of it, right? All right, let's see if we can get this side loaded. So what I did is I downloaded the APK file. And let's see if it's, usually it asks for permission. And it looks like it's just going right through here. Perfect. So I wonder if maybe like these developers haven't updated their apps to support this stuff yet. That could be what it is. I don't know. But we are going to run the 3D Mark benchmark here, because that would explain why some of the apps that I requested it install did not get installed when we started. So why don't we start with Wildlife. And it needs more RAM, so we can't run Wildlife on it. Okay. Why don't we do Slingshot, which is the one we usually do on here. So let's download it. And we'll give it a shot and see how it performs. Gail wants to know, can you use a different browser? Yes, if you install that. You sure can. And on Amazon, Meatface says, CQ, CQ. That's right. That's what you say when you're trying to reach somebody. So we're going to do the unlimited test. This doesn't look as fun when you watch it, but it will render all of the the graphics off screen, and then we get a good result. And we'll be able to compare this directly to the prior edition because I have run this test on every one of these Fire tablets since I started reviewing them. And I'm sorry for missing all these YouTube comments here. J007 is heading out. It's getting late in Europe. And Caffeinated Technology is a ham too. KDOJXP. I am KC1RGS, so hook me up. I'm not yet certified for all of the HF bands, but I'm going to start playing around with FT8 on the 10-meter band that I'm allowed to. Jan Khan wants to know, is the screen plastic? I'm pretty sure it is. It feels plastic. I could be mistaken, though. I'll have to look that up and see. That might be why it doesn't crack as easy. Crab Donkey says, silk is okay, but not great. I'm guessing that's probably chrome-based, right? Everything is these days. Danny says, this tablet is kind of fast. Yeah, it's not bad. You'd be surprised what you can get for a little bit of money. Ricky Cash says, I saw the Explorer file manager. Yeah, I've been a little concerned about these file managers and all the extra stuff they install on there. So I'm glad to see that both Amazon and Google have been putting in, official file management apps that are, kind of bare bones, but good enough to get the job done. Jason Kelly has a good question, which I don't have the answer to. Maybe somebody can answer this one. How do you block side loading? Yeah, you saw how easy that was for me, right? I think maybe the kids' accounts are a little more restricted. So that could be. All right, yeah, this is running slow. This is normal. I would expect this to run kind of slow on here. This really pushes things to the limit. But we'll see what the actual score is when it's done. And that'll give us some good insight. Because what's nice about this benchmark is that I've been running it for so long that I've got a lot of data on it. So if you go to Lon.TV/benchmarks, you can see the spreadsheet that I use to actually do all this work. And so when this is done, and now what it's going to do is render a bunch of stuff off screen. But what's nice is that when this is done, we can see exactly where this one performs. So this is going to be the 3D Mark Slingshot Unlimited Mobile tab on the spreadsheet. And I believe I asked it to run in unlimited mode, but it actually is rendering out full screen here. I'm not sure what's the deal with that. But we'll let it do its thing. All right, let's see what happens here. Yeah, I may run this again because I did ask it to not do all this on-screen rendering. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not cloud. Yeah, Slingshot. Slingshot Unlimited Mobile is what you want to see on my spreadsheet if you're going to pop in. Lon.TV/benchmarks. Now, the original Fire TV, or Fire tablet, let's see. Yes, so the prior one, the 2019 version, it scored, it's at the bottom of the list, it scored 239. That was the score that it got. So this one should do a little better than 239. What's interesting is that the 2019 tablet performed about where the 2018 8-inch tablet performed, which has always been a little faster. So let's see what we get here when this is done. Nobody likes the bezels on this thing. I think it's kind of nostalgic. It's like retro bezels. Like this is going to be retro soon. But yeah, they have not changed the look of this thing since it came out 12 iterations ago. Hi, Raz King is here. Yeah, they've been making things a little more restrictive on wow, this is actually a huge difference in score. So we're going to run this again with the unlimited test, but before, remember, we got a score of 239 This one is now at 993, which is pretty darn good. So let me, I'll highlight it for you so you can see me entering the data in the spreadsheet. Again, Lon.TV/benchmarks if you wish to see this. So Fire Tablet 7, 993, and then we'll go through all the tests here. So 5.80 frames per second, 3.30 frames per second, and then on the physics side of things, we got a 25.0 FPS, and then we got an 11.60 FPS, and then a 5.70 FPS. So not bad. So I thought I had told it to run in unlimited mode. Oh, I see what happened. I hit that button instead of the other one. So let's do one other thing. I'm going to turn the demo off here because it runs the demo, which kind of, it's actually good to do that because it heats it up so you can see exactly what you're getting. But we're going to run this in unlimited mode just because if there's any issues with the screen rendering, this takes that out of the equation. So what you're going to see here is it's just going to like put up a bunch of graphics just kind of rendering on there. Roger P. wants to know, can you use xCloud on the new Fire 7? I'm assuming you're talking about the Xbox Game Pass stuff, right? And I believe that is doable. I'm going to look at that next. Once we get through this part here, we're going to put our Amazon Basics tablet. This is a great little tablet stand from Amazon. Isn't it nice? It's very adjustable. It fits like all sorts of different tablets. And even though it's Amazon Basics, I've had this for years and it still holds up. It's even got nice rubber feet or foam feet at the bottom so it doesn't scratch up your table. So it's nice, and we will be plopping it down here in a second once we start experimenting with some games and whatnot. And then by the way, the backside is nice and foamy too. All right, we'll let that run out real quick. By the way, we're getting close to the 55-minute mark on YouTube, and in case you're not aware of what's been happening, so since I started streaming at 4K, at the 55-minute mark, YouTube drops the stream, and then I have to restart it. So you don't have to go anywhere; it'll just come back up. But just be prepared. All right, we're going through the motions here. Roger P. wants to know, does it work with a 14-inch tablet? I believe it will. It's pretty adjustable. I guess you could always return it if it doesn't work out. But it doesn't really have, I mean, as long as you get the center of gravity down, there's really nothing restricting the length of the tablet. And this part here goes up pretty high, and you can kind of adjust things to your specific use case. But it's actually held up pretty good over the years. Hey, Brian Parker is here. Long time no see. Viathan wants to know, is there any Fire tablet with GPS? I don't believe so. And Shiv is wondering about YouTube. I don't know if, I think it's just that not many people stream at this bit rate to them. And I would imagine there's probably some bug on the other side. I reached out to their creator support, and they did get back to me and said they were looking into it because it's very consistent and it's like right on schedule. 55 minutes in, it cuts it out. So in about 7 minutes we'll have to, or 6 minutes, we'll have to start over again. Patrick Thompson is here. Good day to you. Yeah, we're just running one more benchmark on here, and we'll see where it performs. Rich Daly. No love for the bezels, everybody, huh? The way I look at it is that if it, you know, these days it costs less than a tank of gas, right? And you get yourself a computer. How about that? That's what's cool. I think it's probably faster than a Raspberry Pi is, right? I'm sure you could like sideload some Linux OS on here and hack away at it. And Hascam followed me on Amazon. Thank you for that. Along with Anthony Gomez. Make sure I got everybody acknowledged here. And Gail. Lots of followers today. Thank you all. The screen, Jermaine is asking, does the screen look any better? No, it looks like pretty much the same exact screen as what they've had before. So no real improvement there. It's pretty bright though. The brightness is good on it. I've never been unhappy with the display on here. I just realized I'd knocked the volume rocker there, so we'll probably have to run this again if we get a number off. And Gordon says it's ugly. I don't disagree that it's ugly. The way I look at it is like it's a price thing. So for me, I'm like, it is ugly, but when you're trying to get a tablet for 60 bucks, I think it looks fine to me. Viathan says some cars these days cost less than a tank of gas in the EU. Well, here's a good one. Here, this is the winning chat of the day. Jeff Bezos. That's a good one. And Brandon Wallace wants to know: is it possible to sideload? I'm pretty sure it is. Some people have said in the chat that they've been restricting it. So I will have to double check and see. This one just came out, so I would imagine the tools that exist to do that are probably not going to work on here. What I found is that when Amazon comes up with a new tablet, they tend to put the newest Fire OS on it. And so whatever restrictions occur there will take place. Crab Donkey says, can you load Mint on it? I don't think so. I have to see if there's like a Mint distribution for the tablet. But you could get, I think a pretty decent little experience going on one of these. I mean, if you think about it, the Raspberry Pi was running with far less RAM and it was a nice, usable Linux installation. And DL says, I've had pretty expensive tech that doesn't work well. That's true. I've had that too. Yeah, that's the one thing that I've always liked about these Amazon tablets is that they are very inexpensive and they tend to work. They're nothing spectacular. You kind of know what you're getting, right? You want a basic tablet, you'll get a basic tablet. Here's one thing that I have noticed, though, is that my two nephews have a Fire tablet, and my kids use iPads primarily. I bought them I got them the 6th generation iPads when it was on sale. So I think I got both of them for like $200 or something. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get 2 of these things. And it was exceptionally different. Like the kids, every kid I've ever encountered will gravitate towards an iPad before a Fire tablet. I can't put my finger on it, pardon the pun, but I think it might be due to the fact that the Apple tablets are just a little more responsive and faster, and I think that connection between touch and response is just a little better. But it's weird. Like my nephews will, like when they're over, like all they want to do is touch the iPads. Maybe it's just because it's different than the one they have. And my kids have no interest in the tablet. Chris Allegretta says you can load Mint ice cream. Yeah, you can load the ice cream in, but it ain't coming out. And bezels to the moon. And Vincent says I did the Google. Yeah, I did the Google Play on one of their prior ones also. I think I have it around here still. The processor inside of this one is a MediaTek MT8168V/B. I had to look it up because it's hard to remember. And Donovan is here. Yep, this one's got USB-C for charging. I'm assuming for on-the-go USB also. We'll check that out. I don't know if it's on sale for Prime Day, but usually Amazon devices go on sale, so we'll have to see if they do that this year. I don't know. And good afternoon to you. I'm the one slash. So the big thing here is that it does have a much faster processor than before. I'm going to loading. Yeah, that's usually where it comes down to. Okay, so we got a slightly better score here, but it's still within the margin of error from before. So I think I am good with what we got on the other test. Okay, so now there was a request for Game Pass, because that is a good use case here, right, is doing the Game Pass thing. So let's go back to the App Store and see if we can find Game Pass. Surprised that I can't download. There is an Xbox app. I'm assuming that will do the Game Pass, right? Let's get it. Download that sucker, please. All right. Well, it does have the app. And let's see if it downloaded. Let's see. I'm not sure where these things go when I say download. They just kind of disappear. That's one of those things, like on the Google thing, you know that it's doing something, right? This one is just like, okay, good luck. Oh, okay, there we go. I just got a ding. What did that ding indicate, though? Did I get a notification? Oh, it's installing. Okay. It is installing. There we go. Okay. Successfully installed. Ah, now it's showing up there. Perfect. Now, undoubtedly, I'm going to have to log into my... Oh! We are at the 55-minute mark. Now, so far, it looks like I am still going from here. So my stream is not cut out. My stream health is good. Oh, it looks like it fixed itself this time. So that's what happened. Okay. So yeah, it looks like we're good. So it did drop out, but it corrected itself while I was looking at the screen. Because before, what it did is it dropped me and then it wouldn't go back on. So that's what happened there. Okay. So they haven't fixed it yet, but I will let them know that it did it again. All right, so I got to sign in now to my Microsoft account. All right, let me go look that up real quick here. Yeah, so we should be good now for the next hour. It's right at the 55-minute mark, like on the button, drops me out. But it is 4K, so that's cool. Okay, so let me go into my account here. Bear with me, folks. I'm just going through back to my thing here because I got to look up my password. Okay. Pardon me, because I have a Game Pass account. I wish I had more time to play all the games that I have on my Game Pass account. By the way, did I tell you all that I've got a Steam Deck coming in? Not to be confused with a Stream Deck. And the Steam Deck, of course, is the Valve handheld gaming device. And I think what I'm going to want from all of you is what you'd like to see in a video about it, because it's been out for a while. I was like last on the list to, on the purchase list. When I was trying to order it the day that it was available for pre-order, I couldn't check out. Like the whole thing was totally ground to a halt, so I didn't get my order in until like very late in that day. And that's what happened there. All right, let me just get my two-factor going here, and then I can't see anymore. I'm losing my eyesight. I'm not losing it, I just can't focus as easily. All these years looking at screens. Okay, so we're going to verify that. Okay, so now it's saying when a game is open, device memory and performance are optimized. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's got a game mode, which it did automatically when I just went into this app here. And let's go. Okay. All right, so it's going through a whole bunch of notification stuff. And okay. Now, is cloud gaming part of this app? I think it is. I'm seeing the games that I streamed previously, I think. All right, so let's try this out real quick. So now the other thing I want to do is get my controller paired up with it. So we're going to make use of my fancy schmancy tablet stand here. And we'll get our camera zoomed in a bit. And we'll get the focus going here. Let's get that. There we go. Okay, let's get that. Ooh. Reflective screen, Batman. All right, so now we're going to do a controller pairing. So we're going to go into our settings here. And it should work with an Xbox controller. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. All right, turn the Bluetooth on. Bluetooth was off by default, incidentally. I bet you they do that for battery purposes. We'll go to pair new device. And we'll wait for the controller to show up here on the list. Oops, I don't want to do that one. I'm pretty sure it works with Xbox controllers. We'll find out, won't we? All right, here we go. Xbox wireless controller. Okay. Pair that, yes. Okay. Xbox controller is paired. And I'm missing a bunch of comments here. Did I get the Steam Deck with the yes, I got the anti-glare screen. I sure did. And I'm leaving the fingerprints on this thing because I want you all to see what it looks like. All right, let's do a little Forza here. I think I can jump in to the streaming, right? Oh, it's only going to console. Where's the streaming option? Ooh, okay, so this doesn't look like the same Xbox app that I'm accustomed to. So I wonder, because this would stream from the console, but not on the internet. So I wonder if we have to go grab the Game Pass app. Because there's not a separate Game Pass app, is there? I don't think there is. I mean, we could do the web one, I guess, but so yes, these now have, this one has Android 11 on the back end. Aaron thinks it'd be cool to do the Steam Deck as a portable HTPC. And actually it's funny you should mention that because tonight's video is about the new Plex HTPC client, which just came out. So that might be a fun topic. That's a good idea. Maybe we'll try that. I could do that as my next Plex sponsored video. That might be kind of fun. All right, let me see where we go here. All right, so I think what I need to do is grab the Game Pass app, because clearly the Xbox app, which I think on Android does support the Xbox cloud gaming, doesn't seem to work here. So, and I'm pretty sure that this device can handle it, because it's pretty much video decoding in a game controller, right? So it's not like a big heavy lift here. Okay, so what I need to do, yeah, this is like a different Xbox app. And I've seen that also where you'll have like a version of an app on the on one type of Android device or in the Google Play Store, which is not the same one that you get on the Amazon one. So I'm just going to do a search for Xbox Cloud and see if we get anything related to that. And Amateur Wizard said that you heard of the HT. Yeah, check it out. Tonight's video is all about it. I covered it in the past when it was in beta, but now it's official, and it does have some limited. Oh, so there's a separate Game Pass app. Okay, so that's where I messed up. Let's see. Let's type Game Pass and see what we get. Oh, I see. So there's Xbox Game Pass. That's what we want, not Xbox. Okay, so let's get that one. I don't think I have to log in again. But the HTPC app does work with HDR, although it's kind of, it doesn't do it completely properly. It looked okay to me, and you'll see it in the video tonight. But it does client-side tone mapping. So if you're watching a HDR 4K movie off of your server, it doesn't do the tone mapping on the server, but does it on the client side. And you'll see an example of that tonight. Yep, going downhill fast here. Fingerprints and light reflection, all that good stuff. All right, we're almost there. So now I've got the Game Pass app. Here's some reflection for you. But yeah, it definitely picks up the fingerprints, as you can see, quite easily here. Roger P says the big streamers on YouTube still use 1080p 60 for their live streams. Yeah, they do. Probably because 4K at 60 is it's a heavy lift. Like I'm doing okay at 30, but I don't know how my system would handle something faster than that. All right, let's try this again here. Oh, I got to log in again. Oh, hang on a second. Sorry, everybody. It doesn't retain your Microsoft login, so like on my iPhone, it retains my login, so I can jump from one to the next. But we might have to go with the web version, as was noted in the chat here. Oops. But I have no doubt that once we get it working, it's going to work fine. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to go over here to my thing here. And there was a question on Amazon about how much storage space I got on my Steam Deck. I got the 512 gigabyte version. And I did that because it had the nicer screen. And it's funny, the entry level is very affordable, but I don't think a lot of people got that one because it just had eMMC storage and it wasn't all that attractive from that standpoint. All right, so I have show me great games. Okay, so now I'm in the Game Pass app. And do I have cloud on here? It doesn't look like it. Oh, yeah, here we go. Rate with cloud gaming. Okay, so let's go back to our second view here. And I think we got cloud gaming now. Let's take a look. Oh, it's still doing, Let's do show all. Oh, it's still, yeah, I don't know if I can do that either. Let's see. I was trying to find a game that I know I can stream. Let's just do a search for Forza that we know works. Yeah, but this is what you run into on this, is that like the Amazon version of the apps are not always up to date. Yeah, this is kind of stuck here. Okay, so why don't we go just do the web version. What is the web thing? Let's see, Xbox. This will be the quickest way to get it working. Was it play.xbox.com or something? Let's see, ways to play. Yeah, so the Game Pass mobile app is supposed to do this. So you see it goes into game mode here. So you expect that it's going to do some gaming activity. All right, let's take a look here. All right, Dragon Quest Builders I know is available as a cloud thing, so let's see if it gives us the option here. So it's just install, but not stream. So we're going to have to do the web version because it doesn't seem to stream on the app here. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the web version, and we'll see what we get there. And as far as the bit rate is concerned, it is, the xCloud is not the highest. All right, give me a second. I'm just multitasking here. Xbox.com, play on your Windows, Apple phone, or Microsoft. Okay. Yeah, interesting, huh? All right, so xbox.com/play, I think, is the. So let's load up that Silk browser again. If not, I can sideload the other version, right? Let's see if it works on here. I'm assuming it's xbox.com/play. Yes, okay. So now we're in here. And guess what? I'm going to have to log in now a third time. For best experience, use a supported device. Okay, so it does not believe that this is a supported device, which is probably true. All right, bear with me. I got to do one more login here. Meatface cracks me up. You know what's nice about, so Meatface is one of my Amazon friends, and he's got a real persona. Like he was commenting on the fingerprints as a function of coming in contact with some kind of sandwich meat. All right, Microsoft. I have to do my two-factor here. Okay. All right, now we're in. And now what we'll do is we will see if cloud gaming is a feasible activity on here. All right, here we go. So let's jump back in. Let's go for the gusto here and do a little Forza 5. All right. The unfortunate thing here is that it does not detect the game. Oh, it did detect it. Okay, perfect. So let's continue anyway. And will we get, there it goes. Well, that's looking up, right? So this is the web-based version. Angela Tagner, thank you for following, and Ben Wilson, thank you for following on the Amazon. Meatface wants to know, did I have meat for lunch? I sure did. I had some related protein for lunch. All right, we're waiting for launch here. Not looking good. Usually it launches a little quicker than this. So if not, we'll recycle it. But we may have to come back to it. We'll see. And I've got about 15 minutes before the kids come home. And we're still getting there. Hey, Corey Christolm is here. Good to see you. Yeah, I kind of, I've been paring down the people that I see on social media. So, you know, people that just come there to fight, it just don't really appeal to me. So I just take them off my feeds. And then people that have constructive things to offer the world, I tend to follow those types of people. And I found that to be a very good way to look at it. Oh, we'll be right back. We're working on fixing the issue. So is it their fault or my fault? It looks like it did not load. Let's try this again. Now, whose fault is it? That's the problem. So we'll try this again. Okay, I have a feeling this may not be going to work here. Let's try it one more time. I can also try GeForce Now and see if that fares better, which will, of course, result in another. And that's right, we don't dress the burgers on this channel. So one of the things I like to always say, because people are like, why don't you clean the screen first? Like, no, this is what it looks like when you take it out of the box and touch it. I want you to see what it's going to look like when you own it. That's the whole point. Oops. All right, let's try this again here. Hit the button too many times. All right, here we go. One more time. So you do not. So if you have Game Pass Ultimate, they will stream games from their servers. So you can connect and play over the cloud. And we've had good luck with this, actually. All right, that was good, because that loaded. Nope. Okay, that didn't work. So let me see if GeForce Now is on here. That's a bummer. Because that would be a real use case, right? Because, you know, mom and dad don't want the kid using the TV tonight put them on the thing, be done with it. I'm not done with this yet. I think a side load will probably work somewhere, but here's the pitfall, right? So now we got to jump through hoops to try to get things to work. Andrew's saying, I have the 2019 version. I would say if you're looking for something faster, this is going to be faster. It's probably twice as fast as the old one. So it's going to do things a little quicker. I think if you've been using the other one a lot, you'll notice it. I'm even noticing it. I don't use a Fire 7 day to day, but I know how it felt on the prior edition, and this feels a lot quicker. The 2019 one is way behind where the 8 was. So the 8 and this have the same processor on it, essentially. So let's see if GeForce Now is on here. Is that on here? GeForce Now is not on here either. Holy mackerel, there is nothing on this thing. All right, so that's out. Maybe we can find a game to play. So let's go over to the App Store. I own games too. Let me try to get one of those on here. Let's see. Subscriptions, Amazon Coins, Library, games. So I have a bunch of games already. Now Amazon Luna is their service, which I had done a trial subscription for, but never really got into it. Now I do have, oh, that's interesting too. Like, all right, let's do Sonic CD just for the heck of it, because I own that one in my library apparently. And then I have, we do Crossy Road also. We like to do that one. And do we have Goat Simulator? We do not, but we do have Grand Theft Auto Vice City, so we can pop that one in here too. So Luna is the Amazon game streaming service that they're offering. And it's going to be slower. Yeah, I mean, the web browsing does feel a little sluggish, but we were also pushing it a little more than perhaps the standard web page would. So for example, if we go back to the Silk browser and do, here, I'll do my overhead here. If we do, maybe like a nasa.gov homepage or something, that might do a little better. I mean, the bottom line is you get what you pay for on these things. And also remember, you don't get YouTube on here unless you sideload it. So you have like their YouTube web wrapper thing that you can download. But yeah, it's not quick, right? It's pretty sluggish. I mean, it's faster than a Raspberry Pi, if that means anything. Even the Pi 4, it's not as quick as that. Yeah, the Pi 4 is not as quick as this, I should say. Let's go back there again. Stadia might work with it. I don't know if I have any. Do I have any games on Stadia? I'll have to check and see. I have not tried Minecraft. I don't own Minecraft on this, I don't believe. And on Amazon, I have it on the Android, but not on Amazon. Minecraft should work okay. And we'll try, we'll see how Sonic CD fares on it. I think it could probably handle a remastered Sega Genesis game. We'll see about that. Yeah, and we'll do Crossy Road here too, just to see how that goes. And Crossy Road should work with the game controller. But I'm going to have to do a little bit more work on this thing. It's just crazy though, like you could get the app on Android and it would, it will work on Android devices, but apparently not here. Okay, here we go. And this looks like it's running at like 480p. It looks at like a lower resolution, but it's running just fine. So you can get like a thing that plays games for the price of one Switch game, I guess, right? All right, whatever. So I think it actually looks better on the camera screen than it does to me right here, but it is, you know, running at a playable frame rate. All right, so that's that one. Let's see what else we got here. So it is smaller than the 8-inch because it is a 7-inch device, but it has the same processor. It cannot be connected, though, to a TV. I'll double check that, but I don't believe there is a video output on it. And Gary is skeptical about it running Roblox. Roblox is free, right? We could probably put Roblox on it. Let's do that. It's on the box, so that is something worth testing, right? So let's go find Roblox. Oops, Roblox. Now, am I crazy, or is I've got to go back to the App Store to search? Okay, so let's do Roblox. Okay. So we'll download Roblox. You know what's amazing to me is just how awful these mobile games have become as far as like, I mean, I don't really want to play anything of any of these because like it's all like free to play garbage. And I guess a lot of the people that used to make arcade games make these things now, which is such a bummer. I'd much rather go to an arcade game and drop some quarters than. All right, so while that's installing, we'll see how Sonic the Hedgehog works on here. You know, it really bums me out that Sega like did not put in what they could have for the Sega CD and 32X. There were some great games on Sega CD, but nobody realized they were great until afterward. Now, I'm going to really upset a lot of people, but I'm going to revert this to the US soundtrack because that's what I had. All right, sorry. There we go. This seems to work fine. Yeah, you're going to hear the awesome tunes. It's funny when you watch the Japanese or play the Japanese version, totally different soundtrack. In fact, I think the entire soundtrack is different. All right, we'll get past this part here. Actually, I can't get out of this, can I? Let's see. There we go. The controller feels pretty good. You know, I haven't measured it, but I'm not detecting as much of an input lag as I typically experience on these tablets. That could just be a result of its faster processor. It's just able to pull the controller more frequently. There's still definitely an input lag there. This is no mister, but it feels pretty good. Oops, what happened? I did not pause the game. Oh, if I hit the B button, it pauses. A little button mapping problem there. So this game has the same level, but there's a past, a present, and a future. And then if you go to the past, the future changes. So like if you defeat the bad guy in the past, the present and future are better. But hey, it works. Although you would expect it should be able to run a 25-year-old game pretty well, right? All right. So that works. So why don't we go back now and take a look at what else I just installed, which was Roblox. Papa Snarf says, what's crazy is that you're able to upload video in 4K and Apple and Google can't do this. Yeah, it's kind of funny, isn't it? Well, what's really weird is that it works fine, right? And then it's like at the 55-minute mark, it just cuts out. And I bet you if we stayed on for another few minutes, it'll keep going there. Did get some comments on the Dreamcast, both from Joe Tyson and Roger P. I love my Dreamcast. But I'll tell you what, the Sega CD and the 32X, underrated. All right, I need to sign, another thing I got to sign up for. All right, let me go do this real quick. My kids have Roblox accounts, I think, somewhere, but I don't have their things written down anywhere, so I'm just going to do this real quick. But we should hope that it runs, and it's funny, I'm so old, like I'm scrolling through these ages here, because like how many 45-year-olds log into Roblox, right? Username, don't use your real name. Okay, so I'm going to call myself Lon.TV, and it's in use already. Yeah, I'm going to totally spam here. I'm going to call it Lon.TV YouTube. That's going to be my Roblox names. You can all send me friend requests. All right, I'm going to be a male, sign up. Okay. All right, we're almost there, everybody. And then I got to run. And yeah, see, here's a great point from Martin Paolini. The controller costs more than the tablet does. It's like every accessory you buy for the tablet will cost more. Okay, so here we are. So now we're on Roblox. I think my daughter plays Meep City. Recommended for you. Welcome to Bloxburg. I just want one that's free. I think Meep City is free. Let's see. But this one is recommended for me. All right. Oh, I got to pay for that? I don't want to pay for that. 25, whatever those things are. Do I have any of those things? This is awful. All right. I let my kids play with this. I don't give them any money for anything, so if it's not free, they can't play it. Let's see. I got to find something free here. Is Meep City free? So I didn't pay for Meep City. Oh, it is. Okay, so I can do Meep City. Let's try that. Do I know what I'm getting into is the question. Oh, I should have called myself Don Lon. There you go. Put in here. Oh yeah, this sounds very, I hear this song all the time. So, you know, it's a little laggy. Like a lot laggy. Although I don't know if that's a result of the network connection or... I am the best. You go. It does work with the Xbox controller, so that's good. But you can see it's kind of lagging. I'd have to play this on the kid's iPad upstairs and see if there's a comparative. Ooh, see that? And now it's settling down. I wonder if there was something going on in the background. Maybe that was impacting it. And there's some glitchiness on the graphics, too. Oh, there's a setting in the Roblox. Okay, so let's go. So you would think, too, that, I don't know if Roblox does the settings automatically, but camera sensitivity, graphics mode, automatic. So if we go to manual and just bring it down here, it did a little better. So I may recommend that people go into this and just adjust it. This is awful. Why do I am not letting my kids play with this anymore. I don't know granted, I was a kid that played Atari all day long. It's you know, it's not bad in the automatic settings. It's just a little laggy. But for $60, you can get your kid off off of your iPad. That's probably worth it. All right. Cool. So that's Roblox. All right, so we'll make a note to test that out. All right. And you know what we can do also is grab, let's see if RetroArch is, my time is running out here because my wife's coming home. We're going out to dinner tonight with the kids. Let me go try RetroArch real quick. So I do want to get some emulation going here, and RetroArch is a good way to do that. And I'm not sure if that's going to show up in the Amazon store or not, but we might be able to just grab that from, to sideload it. But I will make a note to do that. Yeah, so I still have to do a little game streaming with this. So that's something that's going to be on the docket for tomorrow. Good news is RetroArch is on the App Store. And what about DS files? So I can grab some of my games off the server here. Let's see, DS file, negative. So that I got to grab from Synology, although I think I've got that one on my NAS also. Yeah, so I think that, I'm surprised, to be honest with you, that I have not heard more pushback about the Google Play limitations on these. Like, like if it was a big deal to consumers, like Amazon would have come up with a solution by now, and they haven't seemed to, like, people are still buying them, perhaps because there really aren't many other Android alternative tablets at this price point, so maybe people are willing to give, to get what you pay for kind of thing. Oops, shoot. But it's nice to get 16 gigs of storage for the base price here. All right. There we go, downloads. Okay, so it's downloading that. And then we'll install DS File on here. So DS File is the file manager app for Android for your Synology NAS. And I have a Synology NAS on the network here. Go past the warning and you get it installed. No big deal. All right, we'll let that go. I got to run in a minute, everybody, before my wife gets home. Can this be rooted? I don't know. I am not sure if it can. So this is, I think, is probably what's likely here, is that people don't see this as an Android device, right? And they just assume that, okay, well, it just can't run on here, but it does do all these other things. And perhaps, really, it probably comes down to the fact that people get, they get most of what they need out of it. And for the most part, they're watching Netflix and not doing what we're doing here. So that's probably what it is. All right. And let's do Jake's account here. Okay, remember me. Okay, so let's see if we can get into this thing. I'm just going to grab a couple of ROMs off the server here and move for a little RC Pro-Am. That's what we're going to grab here. So let's do that. Download that one. And we'll stick this in downloads here. Okay, done. Okay, and then what's the Dreamcast emulator, everybody? I'm not going to have time for that one, unfortunately, because I have to install some more stuff. But let's at least do a Nintendo 64 on here. Download that one. Okay. And RetroArch is here. What I do like is that it recognizes when something is a game and it puts it into game mode. That I think is pretty cool. All right, does the controller work? Yes, look at that. All right, so we're going to load a core, and we'll download a core. RetroArch is really fun. It's just easy to get started with it. All right, Game Boy. So many options, so many options. I'm assuming this is the one to get, right? There's Nestopia. There's Quick NES. I don't know which one to do. So let's do this first one here. All right, and then we'll go back and we'll load some content. All right, and of course I have it in the wrong, the wrong spot. There you go. That was pretty quick and easy. I don't think I've mapped any of my buttons here. So that might be problematic here. Push start for one player. Let's see. I don't think I've mapped my buttons. No, it's working. Runs pretty good. At least for NES games, that feels pretty nice. I played the you-know-what out of this game when it came out. This was one of those fun games. Like, there was Nintendo games that would cost like 50, 60 bucks. And there was games that cost less than 40 bucks. And this was one of the games that was less than 40. And it was funny, usually the less expensive games like this one or ice hockey, I would get more playtime out of. So, will it run Crisis? No. All right, so we're good there. How do we get out of this thing? Oh, shoot, I forgot how to get out of these games. There was a command that you could do to get out of the game, and I forgot what it was, unless it's on here. Oh, here it is. I'll leave. This is one good reason to keep the overlay on. All right, so then we also have a N64 core, so we'll do that real quick. Let's kind of get a baseline of Lupin Plus, I think works pretty well. Crab Donkey says, NES graphics are ugly. Bite your tongue. I think they're great. Although I did become a Sega guy for a while. Like I've always liked the underdog, so I was a big fan of the Sega stuff. Where did that download go? There it is. Let's see how it does with this. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't ask for that. Really? Did you see that? It's like, you don't need to do any emulation. That's, okay, so it crashed on me. I'll have to keep playing around with that. All right, well, we're going to play around a little bit more with this, but it's, I think it's fine. You know, I'm not dinging it here. It is it's one of these things where you know what you're getting, at least for the price. The good news is that it is a bit faster in our benchmarking than the other one, which is the prior version of it. So it's about twice as fast, which isn't saying much because they're pretty slow compared to the other more expensive ones out there. But it, you know, it is what it is, and it's not bad. If you want something cheap to, you know, have your kid play Roblox on, there you go, plays Roblox. All right. Well, everybody, I am going to take off for now, but I will be back before you know it. So tune in to the next exciting live stream. And if you follow me on Amazon, once I get the rest of my homework done on this, I'll probably be shooting the review live on Amazon if you want to watch me make one of my videos. And this one will be fun because I'm sure I will have mistakes and whatever else comes up in the course of that. All right. Well, I will catch you all on the next one. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody's questions today. I was trying to multitask here. But we will be back with more on this one. And I've got a few things to try. I got to look at Plex on this too. And we'll go from there. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. More to come on this. This is next on the docket, as you see here, because it's on the table. If it's on the table, it gets reviewed next. That's how it works. So stay tuned, and I will be back again before you know it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.